We have actor Kunal Kemmu with us today. Welcome to Anis.
Thank you so much.
Right, so Malang doesn't seem to be the usual boy meets girl kind of a love story. There's a lot of action, romance, etc. So tell me, what was it different for you that made you accept the film?
This film is different in so many ways. First and foremost, the most exciting thing about this film for me was the director, Mohit Suri, because I began my career in this industry with a film called Kaluga that he directed. I mean, he was 23 then, I was 21. And 15 years later, we came together with a film like Malang. And I could see why it's so special because he was so excited about this film right from the time that he had an idea, and it's such an interesting way of telling a story. It's such a new story, and I love the way the characters were written, because this is, I think, one of those very few films where there's no clear discrimination between hero, heroine, villain, because the characters are all kind of multi-layered, and there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of twists and turns. And I think if you've seen the trailer, you'll see what I mean, because a lot of people said, oh, it's a really intriguing trailer, but I don't understand what's happening. To understand that, you have to see the film, and that's where the magic is.
I think murder is one common point.
John Lena is one common point, and you'll see why every character says that.
Right, coming back to the director, Kaluga is also one of your biggest hits in terms of solo hero. So, when he offered you the role, did you just take it up without reading the script?
No, actually, right at the beginning, 2.5 years ago, when he had this idea, he had told me about this idea. He had never said what part he was thinking for me and all that. He just told me an idea, and then he actually gave me the whole script. He said, "You read the script," and I said, "What part do you want me to do?" He said, "I'm not saying anything, just read it." Adi is doing the film. Adi and I were the first two people who got involved with this, and he did not mention anything more than that. And I read the script, and I went back to him. And I said, "This is such an interesting script because." Like, I mean, I know who the girl is, but besides that, these three characters are all so new, they're so interesting, and there's so much there. And he said, "So what do you think?" And I said, "Now I want to know what part you want me to know." He said, "Which part did you think was the most interesting?" I said, "Look, for me, what I've never done before, and I don't think roles like this get written so much, is Michael." And he said, "That's exactly what I want you to play." And I was just excited because this is the same man who kind of broke the mold of me being a child actor and presented me as a leading man.
Yes.
And he's the same guy who had a character like this in the film, which was breaking away from the mold of however I've been typecasted so far. With Kalyug Traffic Signal, it was just serious. He just does serious stuff, and then I just did so much comedy that people just kind of only thought that comedy is all I do. So I think it's an interesting, film to be a part of, and I'm very excited to see how people see it.
You seem to be in love with the music also, and I was just watching one of your videos on Instagram in which you're singing a song as well as playing a guitar. Music seems to be your interest, and you have another member in your family, Mr. Saif, who plays the guitar. Ever thought of doing a show together?
I don't know if we are that good. We both definitely. I think music is such an integral part of everybody's life. Some people like to listen to it. Some people like to gungana. I think everybody's a bathroom singer. That's how I also started, and I'm never trained, and I don't think I'm even that good. But I really like music, and guitar is also something that I just picked up because it was one of those things that I always wanted to play, and I wanted to learn an instrument, but I never got a chance to. So thankfully, to mediums like YouTube, everybody can take some watch some videos and learn a little bit, and that's what I did. And I like to do all of this, and when every now and then I'll play and sing for my friends, and that's why when the song came out, I liked it so much. And Mithun, who's composed this, is actually my junior from college, so it was just my way of saying thank you for this beautiful song.
But have you ever thought of, probably singing in a movie? Because there are a lot of actors who aren't that great singers, but they have tried their hand. Technology is also there.
Sure. Well, I don't. I might have romanticized about it, but it's never come to a point where I seriously discussed with anybody that, listen, I want to kind of sing in this particular film or not. But I'm not really giving it a very serious thought. It's something that I really enjoy doing. That's it.
Right, and then among your upcoming projects, there's also a movie which you will be, yeah, and also you will be producing with your
Oh, that
wife.
is the other one. Yes,
Yeah.
I have a release as an actor. It's a film called Loot Case that will come out in April now. Other than that, there is the biopic about Mr. Ram Jethmalani that we've been working on for some time, and it's at the final stages of scripting now, and hopefully we should have it rolling sometime by the end of this year.
But having your wife as co-producer, how was it? How did it even begin, the idea?
Oh, actually, we never wanted to be producers. It's just that when we discovered, like our friends, who a lot of them are lawyers, and we heard everybody who would talk about Mr. Ramjit Malani in the same way that somebody like us would talk about Mr. Amitabh Bachchan or Salman Khan, like the superstar. And he seemed to be and he is the superstar of, when it comes to law. And there were so many stories, and we saw some of his interviews, and we read a couple of books, and we were just very intrigued by this man, and we wanted to meet him. And it's just that we had the urge to want to tell his story, and when we got his blessings and his life rights, was when we actually had to open a production house to kind of do it in the right way. And that's actually how we turn producers. Otherwise, it's not like either of us know how to actually produce a film, besides the fact that we've worked with producers. But I think we are more skilled as actors, and in the other departments. But we wanted to tell the story, and hence we've tied up with Ronnie Screwala's company, that is RSVP, to kind of co-produce this with.
So, are you two acting as well?
No, we're solely producers on the film.
Why?
Because actually, the intent was not anything else but to just tell the story in the best way possible. And we wanted to be clear that we did not want to mix too many interests, besides the fact that we just want to tell the story. And so that's why we kept that goal straightforward.
That's really interesting because generally when actors turn producers, they also cast themselves in.
Sure, and I'm not. I'm saying sometimes things work out in that way. But like I said, because we're not like trained producers, we've not done that. We didn't want to take on too much. We just wanted to be honest to the reason why we started this, and that was not to say that, oh, I want to play him or I want to do this. I don't even know what age category the film will be mostly based in, but the idea was just because this is a story that has really captured my imagination, and I want to share it with the world.
Your daughter is social media favorite as well. So, and she is what, over two now?
She's 2 years, 4 months.
Yeah, and then you also started off as a child actor. Have you thought of, having her as an actor someday on board?
Actually, I haven't given that any thought. We're just really enjoying, the family time that we get with her. She's also kind of developing her own personality. So right now, I mean, all these things are not even in the vicinity. We are just planning the next trip with her, or what we're going to do tomorrow, and what school we should send her to.
Why the audience should watch Malang?
I think everybody deserves to watch a good film, and I promise you that this is going to be a very interesting and entertaining watch. So go out there on the 7th of February and watch this film with your family and friends.
Thank you so much for your time. This is Natalia Ningthojum for INS.